It's a Wednesday evening, and you're walking past that corner bakery that always smells like cinnamon. You were just planning to duck into the next store to buy a carton of milk, but then you spot the long line snaking around the sycamore tree outside the bakery. Some people are clutching canvas bags and tiptoeing to see ahead. Others are muttering to themselves while staring at lists on their phones. Suddenly, your feet stop. Wondering if they must have a limited edition item, you unconsciously get in the back of the line. 20 minutes later, you walk out holding a warm cinnamon roll, only to overhear the cashier chatting with a customer. The printer broke today, so we never put up the price list, and everyone's still lined up. You might laugh at yourself for following the trend, but this phenomenon of changing your behavior or judgment under group pressure is exactly the famous conformity effect in psychology. It's not just mindlessly going along with the crowd. It's a survival strategy humans developed over the long course of evolution. In prehistoric times, sticking with the group during migrations helped avoid danger, and copying others' foraging methods boosted survival rates. In modern society, this instinct quietly seeps into every corner of shopping, work, and socializing. The line judgment experiment conducted by social psychologist Solomon Asch in 1951 laid bare the essence of conformity. When 6 plants in a 7-person group deliberately claimed that a short line was the same length as the standard one, over 75% of the participants followed suit and gave the wrong answer. Some even admitted they knew it was wrong, but didn't want to be seen as an outsider. Psychologically, conformity falls into 2 types: informational conformity and normative conformity. The former happens when you think, if everyone's doing something, it must make sense, like downloading a work app just because all your colleagues use it. The latter comes from fearing being different will get you excluded, like knowing it's wrong to skip class with friends but still climbing over the wall with them back in school. These 2 mindsets play out in countless scenarios in daily life, and you might experience them every day without even noticing. In the consumer world, the conformity effect is practically a hidden marketing tool for businesses. Every November during the shopping spree, you initially only want to buy a pair of sneakers. But when you open the shopping app, you see the sweatshirt in your favorites has a 100,000 plus sold label. A pop-up on the homepage says 87% of people in XX area are buying this. Even the customer service rep reminds you, only 3 left of this item, someone just bought 2 at once. Staring at the screen, you suddenly feel like not buying would be a loss. This is actually loss aversion teaming up with the conformity effect. When you get signals that everyone's snatching this, you equate not buying with missing out, even if you just bought a pair of sneakers last month. Then there are the photo spot walls outside coffee shops. They're just regular graffiti, but when you see everyone holding their coffee and taking photos there, you subconsciously take out your phone too. It's not that you actually think the wall looks good. It's that you don't want to miss out on a trend everyone's joining. This fear of being left out is a classic example of normative conformity. In the workplace, the conformity effect can quietly skew your judgment. Take a department meeting about a new project. The boss asks, "Who thinks there's a problem with this plan?" You actually spot a budget loophole, but all your colleagues are nodding and saying it's fine. Some even praise it as a creative approach. You part your lips to speak, but end up swallowing your words. That's groupthink at play. Psychologist Irving Janis found that when there's an authority figure like a leader, in a team where most people agree, individuals tend to give up independent thinking, because disagreeing means challenging the group. You might tell yourself, if no one else has an issue, maybe I'm overthinking it, but in reality, you're just scared of being labeled hard to get along with, or a troublemaker. Then there's the overtime culture at companies. It's already quitting time, but you see all your colleagues staying back. Even if you've finished your work, you open your laptop and pretend to be busy. It's not that you love working overtime. It's that you're afraid leaving first will make the leader think you're not hardworking. This mindset of sticking with the crowd to stay safe is essentially a form of self-protective conformity. In the rollout of public policies, the conformity effect is used to guide positive behavior. For example, when communities promote waste sorting, you initially can't tell the difference between kitchen waste and residual waste. Then the neighborhood committee posts a chart in the hallway. Our building had an 89% accuracy rate for waste sorting last week. Residents of Unit 301 and 502 got a perfect score for 7 straight days. Looking at how neatly your neighbors arrange their trash bins, you suddenly think, I should sort my waste properly too. This is the application of social identity theory. When you see most people are following the rules, you believe following the rules is the right thing to do. This kind of informational conformity is more effective than blunt, fine warnings. Another example is the eco-friendly reminder cards in hotels. Instead of saying, "Please reuse your towels," a card that reads, "75% of guests reuse their towels," gets more people to save water and energy. It's not that you suddenly develop an environmental conscience. It's that you think doing what most people do must be right. In the age of social media, the conformity effect has been amplified to the extreme. When you're scrolling through short videos, you might initially think a certain hand gesture challenge is silly. But then you see the creators you follow doing it. The comment section is filled with messages like, "I tried it too," and even your friends post their own challenge videos. Before you know it, you're gesturing in front of the camera too. This is peer pressure working with mirror neurons. Mirror neurons make you want to copy what others are doing when you see them, and the signal that all your friends are joining in makes you fear having no common topics to talk about if you don't participate. Then there's online voting. You might initially think candidate A is more suitable, but when you open the voting page, you see candidate B is far ahead in votes, and the comments are all voices supporting B. You hesitate for a moment, then end up voting for B. It's not that you actually changed your mind. It's that you think everyone's voting for B, so there must be a reason, even if you don't know what B stands for at all. That said, the conformity effect isn't all bad. It keeps society more orderly. For example, when everyone follows traffic rules, crossing the street is safer. It also helps you adapt to new environments quickly. When you first join a company, learning procedures from colleagues is way faster than fumbling around on your own. The danger lies in blind conformity. Like smoking with friends just to fit in, buying a bunch of things you don't need to keep up with trends, or giving up what you really want to do to avoid being excluded. In fact, the key to dealing with the conformity effect isn't rejecting all group behavior. It's learning to pause and think for 3 seconds. Next time you're tempted to join a line, ask yourself, "Do I really need this?" When you're about to go along with your colleagues' opinions, think, "Is my doubt really unfounded?" When you want to follow a trend and take photos, ask, "Do I like this thing itself, or do I like the feeling of doing it with everyone?" After all, true integration into a group isn't giving up your own judgment. It's knowing what everyone else is doing while still being clear about what you want to do. It's like eventually buying the pair of sneakers you actually need, speaking up about that budget loophole in a meeting, or still being willing to take a photo of your favorite coffee, even when no one else is taking photos for the trend. The direction the crowd is going might give you a reference, but in the end, you have to choose your own path forward.